Okay guys, remember we have our test scheduled for Monday, January the 30th. So I thought I would do a couple of videos here really quickly for you all to kind of review you on covalent and ionic compounds. I'll try to split them up between two different ones to make sure that they're fairly short. Forgive me guys for the shadow on the paper because I'm in my dining room at home and the lighting's not that great. So very quickly, just as a recap for covalent compounds, remember we talked about the binary kind that are between just two nonmetals. Those compounds use prefixes 1 through 10, and I'm not going to go over the prefixes today. You have those in your notes if you need them. But those prefixes show the number of atoms or indicate the number of atoms in the formula. When you're naming a covalent compound, remember the first name is the normal element name. So things like nitrogen, hydrogen, phosphorus, excuse me. The only thing that you do have to remember is if you just have a singular first element, then you do not use mono for the prefixes. The rest of the prefixes 2 through 10, you do need to include in the name. And then finally, the second name of the second element in the compound, you do change the ending to "ide," and they always get a prefix, even if it is mono. So you want to change your endings to things like phosphide, sulfide, nitride, etc. So let's practice a couple, and I'll go through them with you, and we'll work some backwards and forwards. So for instance, if I have like P3Br4, the 3 then would tell me my prefix on my first element, and the first element is phosphorus. So I'm going to use the normal name. So 3 is tri. So triphosphorus for the first name. And then for the second element, we have bromine, but remember we changed the second element's ending to "ide," and the prefix gets put on the front for number 4. So that would be tetra for number 4. And then bromine would change to bromide. So the full name for the compound is triphosphorus tetrabromide. If you had something like NO6, where there is not a prefix, not a subscript on the first element, then you would not list the prefix of mono, but you still name the first element the normal name. So this would just be nitrogen. And then 6 oxygens. So the second ending, instead of being oxygen, is going to be oxide. And the 6 tells you it is hexaoxide. Now remember, there's a little bit of a trick with dropping the vowel. So you could either put hexaoxide or you could just put hexoxide. So either way is fine. It just depends upon what you think sounds right. Most of the time when oxide is the ending, you are going to drop the vowel sound off of the prefix. So once again, going the other way, let me adjust my camera just a little bit. Going the other direction.